Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the Stocks on Sunday show, coming to you from a timeshare down in Destin, Florida. One hell of a drug. I do want to welcome you to the channel, wherever you are tuning in from around the world today. Thanks for watching. No video again today. I'm still traveling. I'm not in a timeshare in Destin. I'm in a hotel in Destin, and the video quality is just not sufficient to stream this, but I wanted to get this out. I will be back on deck at my usual residence with video next week, and I wanted to get this out to everybody before the stock market opens on Monday so people can be prepared. Now, the title of the show is Great Time to Buy. Well, was it? Is it? Will it be? I'm going to answer that and a whole lot more. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you leave below. I appreciate those. You take the time to write them. I take the time to read them and respond. So let's jump into the news, and here it is. Since President's great time to buy advice, we have seen 90-day reciprocal tariff pause has been announced. The Fed has said absolutely they're ready to stabilize market if needed. Number 3, reciprocal tariff exemptions on smartphones, computers, chip-making equipment announced. I think we're going to see the tech stocks open pretty well on Monday. Who was buying the dip that I shared about over the last week? I've been sharing every day in the Discord, giving stock plays in the Discord as well as on my cheat sheet. And then Trump asked China to negotiate negotiation call, what a time to be alive, etc., etc. Great time to buy. And look, many people, I had people messaging me saying, oh, we're going into a recession. It's, don't buy. It's going to go. We're going to go into a Great Depression. But hard economic data does not confirm that yet. And this is a great thread by Bravo's research. I'm not going to go into it today. I'm just going to let you look at that yourselves. Just the data isn't supporting what the news, the doom and gloom is, the doomsday is. And that doesn't mean that we can't have a little bit more dip in the stock market, of course. And they do put together a wonderful video here. Don't fall for this stock market crash. Here's why. Fantastic video over 5 minutes. Thoroughly advise you to watch this, check this out. And I do think that yes, it was a great time to buy. And these were the levels that I gave and have been given over the last couple of weeks. And these were the levels that I bought, the yellow levels. And I didn't get the lower levels that it almost got to on some of them. Google almost got down to 136. But I bought at these lower levels, and I provided this over the last couple of weeks. And even if you're not a member in the Tribal Trades Discord, and you can be, by the way, the link is below in the description of this video. You can sign up for the Tribal Trades Discord, giving stocks plays every single day, giving crypto plays every single day, and these have absolutely printed. And of course, you can sign up. You click on the more button, that'll open up, and there's a link there. You can sign up for the Tribal Trades Discord. I'm also on the Stocks with Josh Discord. I have my own Crown Traders channel there where I share education insights, of course, my trade setups, and of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Take a screenshot of this. I don't know if we're going to see any of these prices in the yellow again. We could see a real move on Monday, and I'll be very interested to see what pre-market trading is going to be looking like early on Monday market before the market opens. You might be thinking, oh, I didn't even know pre-market trading existed. Yes, you can. You can, and you can learn and find out how to do that in the Tribal Trades Discord. We step you through from the A to Z of investing. Okay, so these were the levels that we gave. What are we going to see on the weekend? Now we have the SPY, and the SPY got down, didn't quite, yes it did, it got down to our 480 level, which was absolutely fantastic. Remember, I put my buys just a little bit above these Fibonacci's and these levels, because sometimes it comes down and doesn't quite get there, but it got there to my buy level 480. You see, that's how I do things. I don't just put it at 478, 479. What's a couple of bucks? What do I say? Those who try and pick bottoms get what? Smelly fingers. Don't try and pick bottoms. Don't be greedy. Dollar cost averaging is the way. I bought at these levels, and if it had gone lower, then I would have just bought some more lower because I don't go all in one go. That's what dollar cost averaging is about. So for Apple, I went in and I bought some at this $180 level. I mean, it's down at the 200-day moving average. When was the last time Apple was down there? We got to go back in a time machine and go back. It's just a no-brainer. We got to go back to 2000 and I don't know when, 2019 or 2018. Hasn't been down there in 7 years. Just no-brainer, buy all day long, and that would have been well rewarded if you'd listened to me. If you've been watching the show, you would have already made an incredible gain up. That's gone up a whopping $18, and I think this will blast up and maybe find some resistance at 213. I don't know what kind of price, but I'm going to say, look, if I can get in anywhere under $200, or even this here, this is the 100 EMA on the weekly. So this one here will be interesting to see if we can get here. And I'm not going to go all in. Look, I know that you have all this good news, and then there's some more retaliatory tariffs that come in and bring us down again. But I do think if we can break above some of these levels, so 204 isn't looking too bad. If we look on the daily time frame here, and we also have we have the 20 EMA on the daily. So I think there'll be some resistance here. We might just blow through this. We're just not clear how this will go, but you've got the 20 EMA on the daily and the 100 EMA on the weekly there, and then you got a Fibonacci at 213. So I would actually expect we get back up to 213, and so any buys below that could actually end up being quite good. We do have a death cross there on Apple, but that's more of a lagging indicator in my opinion there for Apple. So those are the levels that I'm looking for with that. And then with the Amazon buys, again, we got the good buys in there for Amazon. Look at that. Apple at 180, Amazon at 168. As you can see there. And look, it didn't quite get down to my other buy level there of 159. I probably had a 160 buy, and it didn't even quite got that. About 161. So I think in future, next time, I need to have my buys a few dollars up. Usually have them $1 or $2 above, and that should have been a little bit higher, and that would have gotten tagged. And again, on this one here, I see with Amazon, there's going to be some resistance there at the 189 level. That's the 20 EMA on the daily, and the 191 level, and we could really burst above that. Below these levels there would be quite good. Look, historically, anything that you can get below the 50-day moving average generally is a really, really good deal there for that. Next one we have there is Coinbase. Oh my, I mean, this is looking pretty good actually as well. We have a bit of a double bottom here as well. That was just a no-brainer. I think I actually picked some up at 146 on the button. I sure did. And so that's going to turn out to be a good buy, I think, in the long run there. It pushed back above the 200-week moving average and the 200 EMA on the weekly. It got stopped at this Fibonacci at 175. But again, I mean, there's some levels here above. I'll be looking at adding to these positions on a break there. There you see the 20 EMA on the daily is right there at that Fibonacci. So if we can bust above this, which I think actually will likely happen in the pre-market trading, then we could get a nice move up, but I feel like we could get stopped around here. Now, that doesn't mean that we'll be stopped forever. What I'm looking for is to make a change in structure. Right now, we've got a whole bunch of lower highs and lower lows. So this there would put in a higher high, and then on a pullback, if we make a higher low, there's the entry. Okay, there's the entry there, bang, and then off to go. But I'll look probably to try and front run this and grab a little bit more Coinbase if I can in pre-market trading there for the markets. And that's pending that we don't get any crazy bad news between now and the market open, of course. Now, I am recording this on a Saturday because I will be traveling on Sunday. And so possibly if something else comes to the fore and something else happens, just be aware of that. And I'll look and try and do another market update video possibly on Sunday evening or very early on Monday morning there before the stock market opens. But you can see there with Google. Google for me was one of the best value. It didn't really pop. It didn't get down. It didn't get down here. So I got my buy in at 147. I didn't get my 136 buy. It would have been a little bit above. But boy, I would have had to have it quite a bit above, but it came down there. And as you can see, We do have some resistance at the 100 EMA on the weekly time frame. It's sitting just above that, and the Fibonacci is holding it down. And so again, if we look, let's flip back to the daily here for Google. What am I looking at here? Break above this level and a retest, and I would look to get in around that 157 level if possible there and get some orders. And if I can slip them in at the open, that would be great, and get those filled, of course, there. And there's a lot of resistance there. Look, I don't think we're just going to go straight up nuclear, but I do think just adding a little bit more here. Obviously, I bought some down here at 147. I don't have a problem adding it at 157 or just a little bit above. I think this is a good value zone for Google. Hood was a new one that I added, and boy, I'm glad that I did. I got it down here. Look at the 50-week moving average, just a no-brainer, and the 200-day moving average providing incredible support there. Of course, we do have the 50-day moving average coming up. And so I do think if we can break above this little level, we've got a 100-day moving average and the 50 EMA on the daily right there, a push above that. And then obviously we've got more resistance there for Hood. For this one, look, it's been pretty strong, I have to admit. Hood looks pretty strong, and I'm bullish on Hood, and we want to get above this level, above $50, and we can get above $50, maybe a pullback into the 50-day moving average or the 100-day moving average, creating a higher low. That would be a good entry for me, and then off to the races for Hood. That's looking absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at Meta, and Meta was one again that came down. Look at that, comes down. All these levels that I'm giving you guys just gotten tagged. The 100 EMA on the weekly, down around that $480. My goodness, bang, right on the button there, giving you incredible levels. If you just follow these levels, you're absolutely going to be looking good for your stock portfolio at the moment. And that obviously got rejected up here, some heavy resistance to the 200-day moving average, and we've got a pullback there. We don't yet have a higher high. So it'd be nice actually if we make a lower high here, and this could be a nice entry here around 530 and push up, but we might find some more resistance there. Although really what we want to make is break above this level here. That will come into the 50-day moving average, make a higher high, come back, make another higher low. That can be an entry maybe then again as well at the 200-day moving average. But obviously sniping in some here with some buys might be a good little play right there. Now, MicroStrategy, absolutely fantastic. Again, we've got a bit of a double bottom, bit of a triple bottom there, really, and we can see that it's got resistance there. This one's been able to trade beautifully. You could have trend traded this one between around 230, 240, up to 297, back again, up again, back again. It's been absolutely brilliant. We've got a little bit of a WW bottom pattern there, very bullish there. And with Bitcoin breaking out this weekend, unless we don't have some kind of Bitcoin dump and crash over the weekend, I would expect MicroStrategy open bullish and push above that. This could be a nice level to pick up some MicroStrategy around 300 at the moment. And then this would be the resistance up here at 332 to 339. We might start trading back in this level there for MicroStrategy. We go to NVIDIA. I expect this one to bounce as well with the tariff news having the exemption of the chips and the phone and so on. I think that's absolutely fantastic. We're right at the 20 EMA on the daily. I would expect this to pop. So I did actually add some buys there at $110, 107, 108, 109, 110 around this area as we broke through this key level in the market close in the post market, the aftermarket on Friday evening. I did get some more NVIDIA. Of course, I did get these levels here, which I bought at both these levels. You can see them on my cheat sheet here. Where are we with NVIDIA? There we go. I got them at both these levels, locked them in. Also got it 107 and 110. It's absolutely fantastic. Palantir above the 20 EMA. We've come back, retested support. Again, I added some Palantir there. I do expect to jump up to here. I feel that we could face some resistance there, but if we can break above that, retested support, that could be another last kind of area to add. And then as we go up, make a new higher high, and then when we come back and make a higher low, that could be the last entry there before off it takes. And of course, there are going to be some people to say that we are not out of the water and out of the wood. Yes, I'm giving very much a bullish case scenario here. We're going to look at Tesla now. And the Tesla has been, I do expect Tesla. We've got a bit of a double bottom here, maybe even a triple bottom if you count this one. Very bullish pattern there. We're at the 200-week moving average. It's holding a support. I did add some more Tesla there at 250, but I also did buy some down around these areas as well there for Tesla. We do have the 20 EMA. I haven't tagged it because we have the 100 EMA on the weekly there as well, 20 EMA on the daily there, and we have that 100 EMA on the weekly there. So I will say this would probably be my last little area. I usually look at the 50-day moving average or the 200 EMA on the daily if the market, if it flips bullish. And if it flips bullish, it's going to be higher highs on the daily and higher lows. And that's going to be able to flip bullish. And then these are the kind of the last entries that I get in. And then I leave it. I don't, unless I'm doing any swing or scalp trading, but just for my hold portfolio, I just kind of leave it. And TSM, I think, is going to benefit as well. It's been down. TSM, there we go, 147. That's not looking too bad there for 147. Let's have another quick look there. Yeah, so we've got the 20 EMA on the daily. That's going to provide some resistance at about 163. But this could be a nice level to get in around 156 if you missed out on getting it down at 146 or down there at 133. Remember, they've done a big deal with the federal government. Okay. Now, look, what are some bearish possibilities? Look, there could be, it is very much a news-driven cycle. I do understand that. It is very heavily news-driven, but the news has been good. The news has been good. We've got this 90-day reciprocal tariff pause. It looks as all those deals are working through and are going to be resolved. The Fed has said, look, they're ready to prop up the market. They're ready to turn the money printer on. I think rate cuts are on the way, May or June. Inflation was down, CPI was down, PPI was down. And so I do think it would be, for me, I'm not sure why they wouldn't cut some rates in May or the June meeting there for that. And then, of course, reciprocal tariff exemptions on smartphones, computers, chip-making equipment has been announced. That's huge news for those companies. I think Apple's going to benefit. I think Nvidia is going to benefit, and some others, of course. And then, you've got China now and the US looking to negotiate on a call and work that out. I still think that's the elephant in the room. I still think that needs to be resolved. I do think this will be resolved here with China there. I think the fact that they've already put some exemptions on these areas here has shown that the US has softened a little bit on their stance, and they're hoping to negotiate something with China there. And of course, what do you think is going to happen as soon as the China negotiation is done and the tariff is resolved? I think the market is absolutely going to crush heavily to the upside there. And yes, we should be cautious, and yes, there should be a measure of dollar cost averaging. I can tell you that I'm not going to be going all in on the SPY. If it breaks above the 20 EMA here or around this level, I already bought some SPY. Certainly, you could see a pump and a correction as people go risk off. We know gold's been absolute crushing at the moment there, but I do think we are seeing some kind of a relief rally. How long will that relief rally last? I want to know your thoughts. Is it going to be, is the bottom in? Was the stock market bottom in? Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts. And of course, with all the news that is going on, we do have to keep an eye on the news, keep an eye on X, formerly known as Twitter. Any breaking news or tweets or things that come out between now and the Monday open that could influence and change the direction of the market. But I'm going to go with great time to buy. I agree with that. I do think that the research and the data shows that we are not anticipating necessarily a recession, or if it does, is there a recession? Maybe a short recession. I don't think we're going to a depression. I don't think we're going to see anything like the 1930s again. I've shared those thoughts why in previous videos. Check out Bravo's research. I think they do a great job. And of course, until the next episode, or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.